countdown. That makes it easier during editing. Okay, so on one, three.
Before you do a countdown,
what?
could you do a sound test to make sure we're actually recording and everything's fine?
Oh, yeah, good call. Thanks for reminding me, Rainbow. Test. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Now,
Test. Hello, I'm
Hello?
Testy.
I would like to eat a wabana.
Bunsen, you're as loud as I can make you. Okay, I think we're good. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of With Disadvantage. As usual, I'm your host, sort of, this time. This is not my campaign. Our DM today is Bryn. Welcome, Bryn.
Hello.
And then with us today, we've got Bunsen Gyro.
You fed the wabana to a bear?
We got Jay.
So the joke doesn't fucking work because we haven't explained anything that's happened yet.
Yeah, that makes it funnier.
It's true. And Rainbow.
Meow.
All right, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Bryn, as the DM, but I think we got to cover just a few things, to recap, and also probably have everyone introduce their characters.
I'm going to take a moment to say, welcome to the world of Lumiere. It is a single continent plane. There's nothing else as far as anyone knows. And the plane is cut off from interplanar travel for the time being.
Ooh.
Strange phenomena have been besieging the continent once in a while, usually nothing too harmful, but have become more aggressive recently. A group of adventurers have been called upon to look into why they've been becoming more frequent and what they need and where they go. My wonderful group of adventurers includes Enenra, as played by Jay.
That's me. I definitely heard you.
Kellogg, as played by Bunsen. Ren is played by Rainbow.
I may or may not be following Mothman.
And Rum, as played by Chev.
I'm here to save the little doggies that got away. They teleported underground. And also, I'm a wizard, and I cast spells.
On our previous episode, they met with a young wizard who decided, who basically did a reading and pieced together where approximately there should be another magical anomaly to occur. They made their way over there and were met oddly by a group of dogs. After rescuing them, they disappeared seemingly into the portal.
I couldn't find them.
Even though the portal was seemingly not open during the day. They waited until the evening when the portal did properly open in order to look around. Kellogg equipped them with wabanas, magical bananas, kinda.
What do you mean, kinda?
That allow the user to place the peel in one location, and upon consuming the banana, to teleport to that location. He only had 2 on hand, so he gave one to Rum and one to the researcher, who entered and started gathering samples and looking around. Rum then found a bear.
He was in distress.
A big, shadowy monster bear that then was preparing to attack him. He attempted to befriend the bear, only for the bear to go to bite him, eat the wabana, and teleport to the rest of the party.
Yes, that was a 1.
Combat ensued. And though they vanquished the bear, though they're still probably nowhere near closer to figuring out what's causing these.
I think I'm just going to have to ask you, Chef, to rename this show Completely Preventable Combat Encounters, except Dickhead rolled a 1.
Well, it wasn't Rome's fault. Rome just set the friendly bear, and you all killed it.
You're right. It was your fault.
You were all jumped to conclusions just because he's scary and made of shadows.
It has red eyes.
It's racial profiling, that is.
I don't judge a shadow bear by its shadowiness.
In fairness,
I'm
I've
sure
never
you
been
say that
attacked
quite
by a
often.
shadowy being with red
Oh yes,
glowing
and
eyes
then
that
talks
didn't
like
try
that
to
guy
attack
from
me.
Skyrim that you kill.
What, I'm scared?
No! Well, yes, perhaps you also kill Heimskir. thought you were gonna say Heimdall, and I'm like, why are you killing Heimdall?
No.
That's Idris Elba, man.
No, I just hate Heimskir.
Everybody hates Heimskir. I downloaded a mod that would let me kill Heimskir without getting a bounty.
What is this mod? Tell me later. Alright. Alright. So, you guys mentioned you wanted to go back. I have to remove Bunsen's graffiti.
All right, come on.
Bunsen. You mentioned you wanted to head back into the city. You'd barely left it. At this point, you were right about out here, so it would only be a couple hours to get back.
Oh, I
That-
thought we were
that's not
talking about going back to my farm so I could pick up some more Wabanas.
They mentioned wanting to go back to the city to talk about what they'd found.
Oh.
You could potentially go back to the farm to get more Wabanas.
Or we can do
Yeah.
both. We can go back to the farm, get the bananas, leave the pills there, then go back to town. When we're done with town, we can eat the things and go back to the farm.
That would ruin the point
What?
of me getting the Wabanas. How far around where would you say my farm is? It would be somewhere around here.
Let me,
Oh, we're on this little map. I see. Okay.
Yeah. because it's easier for me to draw on. It turns out. I think your farm would be just a little bit over here.
Oh.
So it would arguably you could make it on the way back.
Yeah. Suggestion, everyone. My farm is not too far off the way from the city. Can we stop by and pick up some more Wabanas?
Why, whatever it takes to save all the poor animals that are disappearing. I'm just with the party for now.
As long as you don't feed them to more animals.
I don't feed animals to animals, unless you
I think my
consider
voice
this
is-
party a group of animals.
Well, you're kind of right there. We are all animals.
You killed the friendly bear.
It was definitely not friendly.
You
It
don't
tried to
know. You
kill
didn't
us.
even try. It might have a thorn in its paw.
It didn't have
Check.
paws. It stopped existing below the wrists.
I should mention for the listeners that Rum is a giant Goliath barbarian that's like 7 feet tall or something. He's really tall and beefy, but also he's draped in robes and thinks that he casts spells. So he walks around with his little spell book and his wand, quote unquote, just to
Also,
draw the visual.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to remember what my voice used to be for my character.
You were doing good, I thought. Anyway,
No,
I feel like I'm struggling.
I think it was more.
I had sick voice going for me. I don't anymore.
Well, good news, guys. No one's ever gonna notice the difference.
That's true. So yeah, should we start heading out?
I say we go get your bananas and then we continue investigating.
No, they're not Bubanas, they're Wabanas. Bubanas are completely different.
Oh.
Alright.
Perhaps we can stop somewhere along the way and get rid here of some cat toys.
This is an extraordinarily meaningless conversation. What we need to be doing is we need to be taking these magical artifacts back to people who know what to do with them.
We have magical art.
We don't really have art. You didn't find artifacts. You found.
I'm referring to the stones as artifacts.
Oh,
Really?
We can't move the stones though. Oh wait, we could
No,
move them
yeah.
afterward, huh?
My
Never mind.
bag is filled with them. I took them.
That's right. Okay.
alright. Am I successful in convincing the party to come with me to stop by and pick up some more
Rum
Wabanas?
follows. Yeah.
I don't. My character would just want to go to the village after seeing the disaster that was those things in application last time.
That was
Then at
Yes,
that
but
point,
it only proves that these things are more dangerous than you think they are.
I
At
use
that-
them all the time.
At that point, we want Emerit, and then we can have Emerit and Enra make their way back to the college. Rin,
I'm-
who do you want to go with?
I'm kind of hungry, so I'm gonna go back to the college and try to eat some books.
Eat.
Oh, you.
Rom loves books. I might learn me some new spells. I'll head out with Rin.
You know when video games mark spellbooks as consumable, that's not what they mean.
No, that means Kellig is going alone.
My class lets me eat
No,
Unless
books.
I'm
Kellig
going.
wants to go with them.
Nah, Rom changed his mind. He's going with the Khajiit to go eat some books.
Oh. Alright, I'll catch up with all you.
So the rest of you make your way to the college, like back into the city, pretty uneventfully. The guards are a little surprised to see you again, like so soon.
What are you looking at?
Nothing. We were told by the college you'd probably be out for a while.
Well, we got done quicker than we expected. What are you doing that's so important?
What's important here is that, despite the fact that we told them we'd leave and probably not return, we found something that none of us can identify. Your people, there at the college, can likely analyze these stones far better than I can. My source of magic is not academic, but is rather otherworldly. I don't have a library of knowledge recording these things, despite being more powerful than you. So,
What she said.
let's take these to the people who have the knowledge, who can identify them. If these people are creating means to transport between dimensions, I'm very interested.
I'm sure you are. And so are a lot of other people. We haven't heard of this. We have a theory about it. We have lots of theories about it. Like, that maybe you're, like, everything is made of fabric, and then you just kind of pull the two pieces of fabric together, and it makes, like, a wrinkle, and, like, you pass between the 2 points, and it's kind of weird and wobbly after that.
Ha! That sounds like some human nonsense.
Well, there's, like, a lot of other ones, like, that you make, like a hole in reality, and time gets kind of funny in there.
Rom's head hurts. Can we move on now?
From what I've seen, reality appears to be a large tower. There's various floors on the tower, and everybody resides on different floors of the tower. All we're doing with these stones is cutting holes in the floors to travel between them, either upwards or downwards. But no two floors are on the exact same level.
That just seems like a mess for staircase makers.
I hate every single one of you.
We love you too, Enra.
You guys make your way into the college, and Emmerich guides you up one of the towers to, like, talk with the woman in charge. And he goes, "I'm going to need to talk to her. I'm a little worried because I think." Considering all we did was bring back rocks and a little bit of information, I'm worried she might not be able to get me anything that will help us further this, and we may have to go find another one.
Well, we could always get more rocks. There was plenty of them.
Was there a library on the way?
Yes, there was a library.
I split off to the library.
Oh no.
You
I'm
were
gonna
just
let the
worried.
big brains go take care of that business, and I'm gonna come consume some books with you, Red.
Boy, you worry too much. All you seem to do is worry, worry, worry.
Well, this is a field mostly of academia at this point. As far as everyone else is concerned, everything that can be known is known.
And yet we're sitting here holding something that isn't. Won't that fascinate them more than anything? They'll scramble at the opportunity to help us.
I'm gonna then move over to Kellig here. Because by this point, I would imagine Kellig has at least gotten back to the city.
Yeah,
Um,
should I, like, roll for how many Wabanas I found? Or how many I grabbed?
Roll for banana.
Roll for banana.
Roll for
1d6.
Wabana.
Roll 1d6 for banana.
4 Wabana.
Sweet. You got four Wabanas.
Cool.
I'd like to imagine that like interaction is, "Hey mom, I need to get more Wabanas. Okay, bye." And she's just like, "I love you." Love you too.
You think I work at my farm with my parents?
You never know. Usually farming is a family business.
I suppose.
Just a bunch of rocks carved to look like people.
Did I manage to get any more vinaigrette fruit as well?
You have one good ripe one.
Alright, I already had 2.
So now you got one more.
Cool. Anything about did I find any more cantaloupes or blimies? Yes, guys, these are real names.
We'll just let the listeners
no.
find out what they do when you actually use them.
No, to be fair, you guys don't know what they do either.
Well, that's true. I don't. And Rum definitely
more.
doesn't.
Find any more of those or no?
No.
I'm not sure Rum even knows how the Wabana works.
Okay. You two decide you're gonna nip off to the library, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rum is going to look through as many books as he can. He's definitely searching for books that have pictures of spells being cast, or basically just anything that says spells. Yeah.
And I am looking for a very large dictionary.
As you approach, you do find 2 separate signs that say, "Please do not eat the books."
Oh my god.
I am gonna ignore that sign.
Hold on, Rin. We gotta pay attention and heed the warnings. Eat the books.
Yes,
This
eat the
way.
books.
We go this way to eat the books.
Oh no.
Why is there just 2 signs saying, not 1 but 2 signs saying, please don't eat the book? Why does this happen normally? This is a common occurrence.
I have a feeling the
Or they're
librarian
being
is about to
signed.
erase Rainbow.
I like to think the sign was poorly organized, like it's like "Don't dead open inside."
No, it's 2 actual.
Please eat,
signs
don't
that
the
say,
books.
Oh
Is
god.
this campaign turning into a giant shitpost?
Turning into.
It's great. I love it.
So you enter. There's a lot of. It's a huge library. It's a 2-floor library.
Oh, perfect.
Oh
So-
wow! I've got plenty of spells in here. You really think we could learn spells just by eating the books?
Absolutely.
Interesting. I usually tries to read them, but it's just kind of hard for old Rum.
Eat a
Um,
cookbook, it'll be more delicious.
I'll try
Oh,
anything
yeah.
once.
So, which way are you guys going? Are you gonna go to the 2nd floor or the 1st floor? You
I'm
mentioned you wanted to look for a dictionary.
yeah. I'll look for the. Do you have the decimal system?
The Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah.
Alright. And
Ru-
you're looking for spell books.
Yeah, Rum's just gonna go to the first books he lays eyes on and start popping them open, flipping through the pages, looking for pictures. If he sees anything that looks remotely like somebody casting a spell with their hands, or like some hand gesture, or a wand, or anything like that, then he's going to focus on that intently.
Give me a sec. Good news.
Oh no.
You find pretty quickly like a really good book full of a lot of like manuscripts of just general positioning as you're casting spells, like talking about the general gesturing requirements and stuff, and so there's a lot of diagrams,
Okay.
usually of hand motions.
Yeah, Rum loves somatic components. All right. So
Can I
what's
get
the
that on a
first
shirt?
what's the first pictogram that he sees? Like what is the the image doing or depicting?
It's an image generally depicting like the like that part of like casting firebolt. And like the importance of getting like the general positioning correct, otherwise you'll miss the shot immediately.
Okay. Okay, so he's gonna try and he's holding the book in one hand and he's trying to kind of mimic the gestures with his other hand as he kind of turns the book sideways, upside down, back around, looks at it, studies it. All right then, I think I'm gonna have to practice this one. Firebolt.
Firebolt.
Rin, you find your way to like a rather large tome propped that's already been propped open
Okay.
and was intended for like just generally looking for certain words and things like that when you're just working and you don't want to have like a dictionary, like have to like dig through a bunch of different dictionaries. You have one
Is there
that's
anyone
really
near me?
easy one. There's a couple of students, but most of them are like busy with what they're working on.
I'm gonna close the book real quietly, and I'm gonna take it to. I can be in private, and I'm gonna start eating it.
Rum at this point would have taken
Oh
the
my
book,
gosh, here we go.
taken the book that he's studying, and tried to find Rin.
Rin, I want you to roll a stealth check.
Let me see. Stealth.
Rin, I found me a spell. I want to practice it on you.
Alright, that's +1. Oh, I can do this on here. Huh? This is that a D20? Or do you want me to use tabletop?
Either is good as long as you get the information.
Rin, here, kitty, kitty,
Oh,
kitty, kitty,
I got a
kitty.
4, and that's a 5.
Where's that cat gone
You
off
only have
to?
a 5.
So
So
it's a
you
5
get-
because it's +1.
You get sat down and you start to rip a page, and as soon as you do that, standing right behind you is this huge orc man. Did you read the signs?
I can't
Is this
read.
the guy from Skyrim?
No, but that is very funny because I forgot about him.
I can't read. What sign?
You do not eat the books. Are you another one of those moth warlocks?
Do you have a book so I can be smarter to know how to read the sign?
He's eating a dictionary because he doesn't know how to read.
Rin, kitty, kitty.
Dude, I gotta admit, the B plot of this filler episode, I'm not feeling it.
Rin,
This is one
what
I'd skip on
your
rewatch.
intelligence? I thought I was one with 7 intelligence here.
7?
Yes, my intelligence is 7.
Locke just takes the tome from you and says, if you need to learn to read, we have schools. For
Yeah, but
reading
why-
specifically.
Munch.
Why wouldn't I just eat a book?
Consuming books does not tell you the information that is on the pages. You will
Of
have
course
to
it
learn
does.
to read.
The Mothman told me to.
Oh, you're another one of those. Oh.
Does
Do you have
Rum-
an old one I can buy off of you?
No.
How about a damaged one?
I mean,
No.
you
If-
do
How
have
about
the
that one?
original
I'll
now.
buy it. That's damaged. I'll buy it from you.
I am going to repair this. You are going to leave and go find somewhere to buy books to eat. Do not eat the library books.
Oh, is there a place in town I can buy books to eat?
Yes. Anywhere
well-
you can buy books.
Where is that? I need to know where to go to get it right now.
The Market District.
Alright, can you point me the way?
Do you have a map?
No, I do not. Can I buy a map here?
This man is becoming very tired.
Is coffee a thing yet? Is he able to drink coffee?
Does
Coffee
rum
doesn't
ever happen
exist.
upon them?
I'm about to go to my fucking
Probably.
university drug dealer and buy some fucking coke. Like,
Like,
Rin, I'm not sure we should eat the books. Following the pictures is much more useful.
is that your friend?
Eat the pictures.
Who's he asking? Is that my friend?
Rum, because Rum is being very loud right now in a library.
Does Rum see
Yeah.
Rin?
Yeah, that's my friend.
Probably at this point.
Okay, so Rum peeks around the corner. There you are, you mangy cat. I don't even have a picture of you. I can't post lost and found pictures.
All right, we gotta go in town. This guy says we can find books to eat.
Well, I don't think we should eat the books because then we won't be able to seize them anymore. Anyway,
but
I
the
want to
Mothman
try
told
this
me that I
spell.
can-
I want to try this spell on you. Fire. It's got fire.
Hey, why don't you try repairing that book for him so he doesn't have to?
He's wearing robes. I'm going to assume you are a wizard.
Indeed I am. I am the strongest wizard from the north. I've come to help people, help the poor animals.
I am going to trust you with this single copy of the book that you have. I will, however, need your name.
Rum.
And he. All right. Do not let him eat that book.
Don't
Do
eat the
you
books,
understand
cat.
me?
All right,
Just don't do it.
let's go to town and buy some books so I can eat them.
Let's just
When-
not
when-
eat books at all. Someone is
He-
going to have to clean your litter box.
He pulls out like a book. And he notes down your name, and he notes down information on you, and he looks you over and he goes, "I'm going to entrust you with this book. Return it when you are finished with it. Do not let him eat it. Whatever you do, moth warlocks."
I will do my best. Maybe we could put a bell on him.
Perhaps. He's just very exhausted.
Come on, Rin. Let's get you a collar and a little bell.
Let's go to the bookstore and buy some books to eat.
No, come on. And
I'm gonna go to the
Rum
market.
grabs him by the scruff like a cat.
Good luck on your studies. I have to make another sign.
Thank you. I'm sorry, sir. I will bring my cat outside.
Thank you.
Can I eat that sign?
No, come on. And I'm gonna push him forward. Does he resist? Like push him towards the exit.
I'm gonna go to the exit and then I'm gonna start going to the marketplace.
Okay.
I can't believe that it warrants multiple signs not to eat the.
It's a problem. For
Come
So
on,
I'm just
cat.
gonna
We've got to be done with this B plot.
I'm gonna say this really quick. There is a form of warlock that does eat books as a higher level ability to gain knowledge.
That's actually a thing in this world.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why that's why he's
And
so
my main
close.
quest now is to find a dictionary so I can read and be smarter.
Well, you can't do it until you're higher level.
Eat a dictionary, you get +1 intelligence. You severely need it.
Mothman. You refer to yourself as following the Mothman. He's not like that.
Well, that's what my guy thinks he is. So
So
maybe once I eat that dictionary, I'll know better.
all right, let's give Enra and Emerit a moment. Emerit opens the door and goes, and Enra, do you want to come in? Because you might, I don't know.
Of course I do. The opportunity to meet the most powerful wizards in the world. I'd like to see what you softskins have on offer.
Well, it's not the council, it's just Loran. You've already met her. She's been really critical of me in this entire project, so I'm really nervous about this.
And we found proof that it has merit, child. You're letting yourself get caught up in your own anxiety.
Fine. He opens the door. Madame Loran. She just looks up and goes, "What? You were supposed to be gone longer. What happened? What went wrong this time?"
Nothing went wrong. Well, nothing nothing went wrong in a sense in regards to the research we were doing. However, we found these, and I would set a couple of the stones I took on a desk or whatever.
This looks like volcanic rock. What is this?
The stones were arranged in a circle. When at a certain point during the night, these stones seemed to illuminate, and from them a portal to another place on the continent opened. Two of our allies were able to pass to and from that point without any harm coming to them. It's possible that black stones like this are arranged all over the continent, and when they were transported, they ended up in the exact same kind of place as those missing persons you described were in. It's possible that these stone circles are the source of your issue.
Anything else you discovered?
The stones were completely immovable until the portal opened, but once the portal opened, they became like this, porous, almost like you said, a volcanic rock. It's possible that these portals are one-time use, but we didn't see any possible source or caster of the magic. It's possible there's some sort of delayed ritual. Also, there appear to be phantom monsters inside them.
That's strange because most of our instances of this happening don't have monsters.
Perhaps we were unlucky, but we did encounter a ghastly bear. It went down about as easy as your average one with enough magical power, but it does prove that these beasts can enter our realm.
That is dangerous. Anything else that you've brought for me?
Unfortunately, there wasn't much else to take. I took as many of these stones as I could carry. There might still be some out there in that farmland that we encountered them in.
Emerit then goes, I have actually marked on the map approximately where we think the portal went, but we know it's definitely this plane still, just we think it might be just a little bit south. And additionally, I took samples of the things inside the portal, and they're like our own, but different. They seem a lot more like like within the portal realm. Before we got to the other doorway, it was like a northern forest, but it had a lot of the same kind of trees we have, but things were different. She goes, I see. Emerit, what you have brought us is enough that I will go get your expert. Until then, I may have found someone who can help increase your ability to divine where the portals are. They are waiting for you in your lab. You've done well. I am going to give you 100 gold pieces to distribute as you wish between you and your allies. Speaking of which, why have none of them come back with you?
Honestly, the other three just seemed to leave as soon as we got on campus grounds. I'm not 100% sure where they went. One of them muttered something about going to the library.
Oh, goodness. I hope Locke is okay.
Knowing them, definitely not.
But no, your expert should be in the basement. He finally answered my letter, and he should be able to help you divine further where portals will open. I recommend going and seeing him now. He is not an easy man to get a hold of.
At this point, can I barge into the room?
Yes.
I barge into the room saying, "Hi, I've got 4 more Wabanas."
Oh.
She just looks confused.
It's the man with the magic fruit.
Yes, that's me.
Hey, Meatloaf. What are you doing? But no, yeah. All right. There are two of you. As I stated before, 100 gold pieces. You may distribute throughout your party. And Emirate, you have been given the chance to prove once again that you might be able to further track them. Please go see him now. I do not want to have to wait again.
Thanks for the money, man.
She looks exhausted, but also pleased to know that this means something. In her own weird way. Emirate actually looks immensely relieved, even with her seemingly short tone.
I mean, she is short.
You need
Wah,
to learn
Hey.
to carry yourself, child. You barely got a word out there.
Alright. So you have two people who are, like, gone to the market. Neither of you know this. It's the thing. Like, none of you know this. What is like you two's plan with Emirate? Do you want to go and meet this
So,
expert too, or
Rum is just kind of try to kill time and keep an eye on Rin, and then drag
Yeah.
him back to the group when he feels it's time.
Rin?
So, probably let him
You-
look for whatever it is he wants to look for at the market, I guess.
Alright.
Real quick.
Rin?
Well, is the market on the way out?
Well, the market is
Did we pass
outside of
it?
the school grounds, and you probably would have missed them by that point.
That's what I mean. When we leave, we'll pass it, right?
No.
Oh, we won't pass it on the
No.
way out?
No.
I guess I'm going to the market if we're not going to pass it on the way out.
Well, no, wait, you would be passing it probably on the way out of the city?
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
So
I thought you meant, like, passing them.
we'll just meet up with the party and we'll do that on the way out then.
Okay.
All right. Then Rum continues to just keep an eye on him so he doesn't lose him again, and then walks him back to the college.
Alright.
All right, Rin, now let's be on our best behavior. We've got to try to understand what the big brain folk are trying to tell us about
Excuse me.
the mysterious doorways between hotel floors.
Emerald just, like, after leaving the room, just smiles and goes, "She wasn't as mad at me as I thought she would be. I thought she'd be mad at me."
And this is after
Moreover,
we
I
enter the room?
Yeah, this is after, well, they've just left the room,
Oh, okay.
is the thing.
Okay.
She has excused them at this point, and Emerald does need to talk to his
Okay.
specialist.
Sorry, I cut you off, Jay.
I'm assuming you didn't manage to get into much trouble.
No, we just got in trouble with the library. That's all.
Well, it turns out you can't learn by eating books, or at least they don't want you to, so I stopped Rin here and brought him back here so we could continue trying to help the poor animals. What did you find out?
You did what?
Oh, Locke's gonna be mad.
We'll be mad at them. It's not your problem as long as you don't make it your problem.
No harm was done. Everything's okay.
We told him that you sent us there to eat the books.
He's not quite right in the head, you know, this one.
Just kidding.
Boy, quit worrying.
We didn't say anything about you.
We'll be heading down to the lab to talk to an expert on what we're here for.
Also, good news, everyone. Laurent has given us 100 gold to split.
Oh, Rome likes gold. I could buy more books. I also needs a wand. My wand is getting a little rusty, and he pulls out this little, like, splintery twig.
Right.
Take as much as you need. I'm not here for coin.
Or you can buy helpful equipment, like Wabanas, for example.
I got 10 bunched up. He's really quiet all of a sudden. Is that
Yeah.
just for me?
Yeah, Bunson's even
I get
quieter
them
than he
all the
was
time.
before.
And I've contacted Razor telling him, hey, my stuff's too quiet, even though I turned up everything.
I got 10 up to like 200%.
I already have him at 200.
Same. He starts to lead you guys down the stairs and down the stairs. and down the stairs into the basement.
Okay.
And he feels like really. You could tell he's starting to get more awkward as he realizes how far down everything is. And he just kind of looks sheepishly at you guys and goes, "At the end of the hall, we don't go in that lab. That's the bad lab. It's the noisy lab." And you hear a loud thud from that lab, and then a commotion for a moment.
What are they doing in there? Why is it the bad lab?
We don't ask questions about the bad lab.
Well, now I just want to go in there even more, but okay.
he like turns. He like goes a little bit down the corridor, and then just there's a doorway on the left, and he opens it, and it's a very small. I'm gonna quotation marks lab here.
So I'm gonna go to the bad lab, and I'm gonna put my ear to the door and see if I hear anything.
You hear a follow-up commotion, and then a bang, and then it just goes quiet for just a moment, and then you hear laughter. You're not particularly sure what's going on there. It's really weird. The audio in there is just really weird. You're just not picking up anything that's functional through the door. Emmerich kind of leans back out the door and goes, "Hey, you do not want to be over there. We partially soundproofed that for a reason."
Come on, Rin.
I follow.
Yeah, I also followed the group.
I would like to stop at the market and get Rin here a little collar and a bell before we go.
Sitting inside of the lab, already like poking around things, is another sorcerer, and he just looks at him and he goes, "You're the expert she called in?" And he goes, "Ah, yes. You must be Emerit, the surprising young wizard who found something he shouldn't have. I'm intrigued."
I mean, technically, I found it first.
Well, that's the thing. What did you find?
A friendly shadow bear, and then my friends killed it.
No, stop. What we found were these. I take out one of the stones. These stones
Oh
were
yes, and
arranged
some
in a
rocks. I forgot.
Stop talking. These circles were arranged in a stone. Stones were arranged in a circle. And at a moment, the stones emanated energy and opened up a rift. Traveling through this rift led to the area many of these missing persons your people have reported seem to have gone to. But more than that, at the other end of the rift was a way to get to another point on the continent.
Now, how do you know that? We didn't find any missing persons. Just a friendly bear.
Was the bear missing?
Was the bear a missing person? Reward if found, lost shadow bear.
As you can see, Sorcerer, I've been trying my absolute hardest during this expedition.
I don't know about that, but whatever, you have to tell yourself.
He's
And
not as
looks
good
at-
of a sorcerer as Rum is. That's probably why.
He takes the stone in his hands and looks it over and rolls it over a couple of times and looks at it in the light, and he goes, "It's porous. Was it always porous?"
It was not, it was smooth.
And it was
Moreover-
glowing.
Moreover, before the portal opened, the stones were completely immovable. Even when the earth was dug out from under them, they would levitate. It was as if they were fixed in space.
It was clearly magic's. Not like an Enra would know.
That might be the first correct thing you've said all day.
You bunch are very funny. Now, the headmistress mentioned to me you have a method of tracking these anomalies. Emerit, would you please show me? And Emerit goes, yes, of course. And he opens up, like, his big map, and he pulls out the pendant, and it gives kind of a vague idea of where it thinks the next one is going to be. And I'm going to draw it on the map really quick, because that's always fun. and it marks it out to be right about here. It kind of just gives a vague idea, approximately. I guess slightly bigger zone. Here. Oh, the smiley face. Good. A plus. A plus map use. And he goes, well, we need to refine that. Just having a general idea of where something is, you'd need goodness knows how many people to comb.
The circle was no more than a few meters across. It would be difficult to find it in such a large area, especially notating the scale of this map.
Well then, let's see if we can improve it. It looks to be you're using a pendulum and a crystal. And while that is acceptable, it is a little bit of a dated method of looking for things. At least using a pendulum in this manner.
Well, how else do you suggest we find these doors?
Regrettably, I don't seem to have a fruit that would solve this problem.
I have a few ideas, but they will require some workshopping. Why don't you four go and find something to do? We'll get back to you once we've found a better solution.
Like what?
Let's go eat some books.
Would you
I
stop
don't
that,
think that'd be
Rin? It's
helpful.
getting old.
Well,
No eating books. Bad kitty.
you seem to have taken the lives of adventurers. I'm sure you can find something to do in a big city.
There's always someone who needs help. Come on, gang. Let's go find it. Someone out there needs us.
I could look for new equipment.
I need our magics.
Excuse me. What was your name?
Oh, I'm sorry. How rude of
Everett?
me. I am Mavette.
Nice to meet you, Mavette.
Good to meet you.
I'll go ahead and shake his hand. I'm gonna turn to Emmerich and say, excuse me, would I be able to take my share of the gold? I'd like to go see if I can find some new equipment.
Sure, but I don't think I have it on me. I think it's with an Enra.
Oh, there's 3 of you, 100 pieces. I'll take a single piece for myself, 33 for the rest of you.
Thought you didn't want any coins.
Yes, but this keeps the math even.
All
I'll
right
throw it
then.
in a wishing well.
Alright. Well, if you're gonna throw in a wishing well, could I take it? My equipment might be expensive.
It's a figure of speech. I'll use it to buy supplies.
Okay.
Okay. I love it. Well, come
still
on, Rin.
trying
Let's
to
get you a
find
collar
my
and a
voice.
bell then, since we've got time to kill. We gotta find someone who needs our help.
You must stop being demeaning to the Tabaxi.
What means demeaning?
You're speaking down to the Tabaxi as if he was a common house cat.
Or he just needs a little help, that's all.
The child is confused, but it is not a beast.
We're right friends, aren't we, Rin? And then he wraps his arm around Rin's neck and pulls him close, and then kind of gives him like not a noogie, but like, kind of ruffles his fur.
I said, yeah, we're friends, but I don't need that bell. I don't need anyone knowing where I'm at.
Well, I can't lose you again. Maybe a leash?
I don't
Wearing
understand
a
why
bell.
I bother with these people.
Wearing a bell gives you disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah, it definitely would.
Oh.
Alright, assuming that we're done here, I would like to, or I'm gonna ask everyone. Alright, I'm gonna go see if I can find some equipment. Would everyone want to come with?
I'll come with you.
All
Maybe I
right.
might find some books to eat.
Oh my gosh. This is why I'm a dog person.
As long as you don't eat anything that you're not supposed to eat, and that includes books.
Oh, that librarian said I could buy some and eat them.
Don't eat the books.
What about one of those tasty bananas? Give one of them to him.
I do have some more, but those are special bananas.
we can't be eating them all willy-nilly. I only got 4.
Well, the moth says I can't eat books, so I'm not listening to the moth.
Right, then
I'm just gonna turn back to the other two. Perhaps I can be of use here.
I'm gonna start to head out and see if I can find some sort of equipment shop.
I'm gonna follow.
Rin follows too. Or
Mean
Rum, excuse me.
My question then becomes, what of you?
I would turn to the researchers and ask, is there anything I can help with here?
Do you happen to know an expert in divination?
Does Rum hear that? Or did he leave already?
Probably.
Okay. Rum turns around and says, "Oh, I could find things. Rum good at finding things."
Well, it's not so much finding things in the physical sense, it's more in the metaphysical sense.
I use my magics and I find all sorts of things.
I don't have
casts Accio on the dragon.
the only type of divination I have would be contact with my master, and even then he hasn't been responsive in years.
The devil, I presume.
Perceptive researcher.
He is fickle, and we have a few warlocks of him here, who are very much like lost sheep.
Interesting.
I
When I
don't-
spoke to him, he'd said he hadn't struck a bargain in decades.
That's what he says to all of them.
No matter, my end of the bargain was fulfilled. I have no need for validation or anything. I got what I wanted. And I'm merely trying to uphold my end.
Well, perhaps he will listen to you in this case, since you found something strange.
Well, I would pull up my grimoire. The only means of contact I've been able to make with him since I last left contact was when my spellbook was destroyed in a incident with a clan in the northern mountainside. Perhaps through this grimoire, and I set it down on the table, I can find some contact and answers.
You're gonna have to lend me that awesome spell book there someday there and then, bro.
If you touch my spellbook, you will learn what it means to burn.
Why are you always
This
so
is not
mean?
This is not a tome. This is not something you can learn from. If you look in this book, it doesn't even have any pictures or meaningful words. It's written in a language that you cannot read.
Well, maybe you could
Only
teach
has
me
meaning
some
to me.
things.
It's not something that can be taught.
I thought we was friends.
Oh.
It is
I
not
really
magic
like
that can
you.
be-
Why don't
It's
you
not
like
magic that can
me? You're always talking down to me.
I apologize. It's only that the kind of work that I do requires a deft hand.
What?
One that sees the logic and the importance in many things, and understands when some things are beyond one's reach.
Okay.
I am a warlock. I am not some kind of wizard who can sit in a tower and learn things, and I was not born with my power like a sorcerer. My
Oh.
power was made by brokering a deal with a being beyond this world. That's not something I can teach, or that anyone can teach.
Oh, maybe I could make a deal with this power.
Perhaps, but he's not known to extend his reach this far. At least not without reason.
Okay.
And regardless, warlock magic is different than whatever magic you seem to be using. It has a different feel to it, a different casting method, a different channeling method.
Very tactful.
At least
All
you're
right.
willing to kind of try to believe that Rum has magic.
What? Sorry, what'd you say, Britt?
Well, no, here's the thing. I haven't actually seen Rum fight yet, so I don't know that he doesn't have magic. I just assume that he's a particularly stupid sorcerer.
I
And
can't wait.
since Anenra already hates wizards and sorcerers, Rum just kind of fits her interpretation of those kinds
Her
of characters
stereotype.
perfectly well. Exactly.
I love it.
I don't know that you don't actually have magic.
I can't wait to see Rum use Mage Hand.
Yeah.
It's firebolt.
You cast Mage Hand by using one of those like stretchy hands. Just whip it over.
Stretchy hand.
You know the one like it's like
Uh,
That is also why my magic does not look like anything like these people have. Boy,
Yes.
you can cast something along the lines of Prestidigitation, Druidcraft, Thaumaturgy, something along those lines. You're that talented, aren't you?
Yeah.
Create a fire in the palm of your hand.
Okay. And he like speaks the words and everything and does the little hand gesture. There it is.
You'll notice
I'm trying to learn that spell right now.
it's a simple flame. A thaumaturgical flame, one that's ultimately harmless, I say, moving my hand through it. But, and I'd hold my hand out, and with like a click of my staff, a green fire appears in my hand. My magic is different than his.
Oh, I bet my magic's a different color too. And he tries to cast the firebolt spell that he saw in the book earlier by making the hand gestures. But presumably he might bonk someone by accident.
So you're a sorcerer then? Okay, that answers that question. Didn't really think you were a wizard to
Well, it's
begin
this
with.
one right here, and he opens the book to where the firebolt page. This one that's what you do, right? You get the fire in your hand, the firebolt. I want
This
that.
is
I want to do that.
This is a 4th level fire spell that would engulf this entire room in agonizing fire, including yourself.
That sounds pretty neat.
Who are you?
I'm Rum. I'm from the Northern Mountains, And
I'm from the Northern
a
Mountains.
tribe of wizards.
I've never met a tribe of Goliath wizards. Well, to be fair, I've never conversed with Goliaths before I... You know what? I'm not going to finish that sentence.
You talk a lot.
Indeed I do.
Those who think often have much to say, unfortunately. you just hear Mavet pipe from the back of this conversation. Just
Yeah, that would have gone completely over Rum's head. He just nods.
Regardless, this tome remains my only link to my master. Perhaps I can contact him through it.
Let's try
And
that.
Now, I'm going to need absolute silence.
Okay.
Rum, I'm going to need you to go upstairs for this.
Oh, upstairs. Why?
It's just that I want the others to see this too, and I'd like for you to go get them and bring them here.
Oh, okay. Rin! Kellogg!
Okay, so we've probably got about 10 minutes before he comes back, so I'm going to try to make this quick.
He gleefully runs down up the stairwell.
By this point, I'm probably clean out the building and already looking for an equipment store or something.
yeah. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
you're-
Let's deal with your equipment store.
At some point, you're just gonna
Shopping!
hear Rum hollering in the distance.
All right. So here comes this. So you're looking for an equipment store. What are you looking for specifically?
Well, as as much as my trusty farming hoe is totally usable as a weapon, I wouldn't mind looking at different options. So some sort of weaponry or armory or general blacksmith.
Okay, that's easy. You find a blacksmith relatively quickly. There are a couple of different options in town, but like, you know, most of the ones that aren't like general blacksmiths are usually for anything that's forging that's either specifically only for like farming equipment or specifically only for like elites who want fancy armor to be fancy.
Are you telling me I could get weapon upgrades for my farming hoe?
I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna run to the bathroom while the beat plot happens.
I want a farming hoe of +2 attack.
No, it's just that usually like plows and stuff have to be blacksmith, you know, to make all the blades and stuff and all the bits and you getting all your horseshoes and stuff done.
Man, that's a bummer. +5 farming hoe. Rest in peace.
So, what kind of weapon are you looking for?
Well, I mean, oh my god. Well, I'm not looking for one in particular. I'm like, once I find a store that would carry like weapons, maybe even like enchanted ones or magic weapons. Once I get there, I'm just kind of gonna browse, ask around, see what they got.
Okay. Once you get in, you find like you find just a general weapons store. There's really nothing that's gonna be +1 here, and like if you want enchanted weapons, you're probably gonna be going to like one of the nicer blacksmiths at that point.
You know
So
what? I'm gonna look for one of those nicer blacksmiths.
Is there, before you leave, is there any diamond hose in this place?
no.
You mean netherite hose?
Yeah, it's all about netherite now.
Well, no, yeah. Do you want to go to the nicer one, or do you want to stay with this?
I'll go to a nicer one.
Okay.
If I don't have the money for it, I could check out what the price would be. Like, on general weaponry, I'm pretty comfortable with my farming hoe.
All right, you make your way up there, and you meet the shopkeep, and he's just he is like this dwarven man, and he looks like he's been in this business for a very long time, but he's finally at a point where he just mostly runs front of shop. Like he's a very old dwarven man.
Hello, Mr.
Ah, yes, Sprightly. Sprightly's weapons.
Ah, you must be sprightly.
Yes, yes.
Hello.
I see you're a warrior. A simple
Yes.
a simple piece of armor. Looking for an upgrade, though.
Maybe. I also I take out my farming hoe and lean it up against my shoulder, showing that that's my weapon.
Ah, the farming hoe is a perfect improvised weapon. However, might I interest you in a longsword?
What about a shovel? I think you'd do well with a shovel.
Did you actually say that in character?
Yes.
What's this longsword you speak of?
Well, and he walks over to a display and pulls down a very nice long sword with like a very nice hilt with like engravings and stuff on it, and he pulls out this beautiful longsword that is very much taller than he is.
Well,
is-
I mean that's nice, but you can't dig someone to death with a sword.
Well, no.
Ignore him.
But this is a refined weapon for a refined warrior.
I like the sound of that. What's special about this sword?
Well, long swords work in slashing. They can be used either one-handed or two-handed. I personally recommend one-handed with a shield, but that's just me.
Well, that's good. I have one right here. I raise my shield.
Ah. Hmm.
Is there anything special about the sword? Is it magic of some sort?
Oh, you're looking for something magical. Well,
I would find it interesting.
he resheathes the sword and places it back on its stand, and walks over back behind like his counter, and he pulls out from under it a box and opens the box, and there's a different sheathed sword that has like a very gentle glow to it. And he says, "Although this is simple, this sword has a little extra power to it. Um, I obtained this one very recently from the Mages College. It took a month for them to get this done. I need you, and it took more than one person. I can't let this go for too little, but I would say that perhaps 950 gold would be appropriate for something of such fine craftsmanship."
950 gold.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I can't afford that now, but can you tell me what it does?
Well, it is enchanted to be more powerful. Its strikes deal just a little more damage than a normal sword would. In fact, Lacey! And then you just see this, like, half dwarven, half human woman walk out from the back. She looks like she's been working as as an apprentice blacksmith like her whole life. She is a good little bit into her 20s. And she like just looks down and she goes, "Ah, of course." She takes the +1 sword and swings it into one of the dummies on the back wall and slashes a good chunk out of it. Re like sheathes it and hands it back to her father, then takes one of the unenchanted ones and slashes and doesn't quite make as deep a cut.
Well, how much
And
for it now that it's used?
that's not how that works. She like sheathes that blade and puts it back on its thing and says, "Call me if you need me." And then she goes back in. Lacey would have made a fine warrior, but she prefers the forge.
Fair enough. Until recently, I preferred my farm.
Fair enough.
Um,
But hmm,
so 950 is a bit out of my price range, you could say.
What if we traded you some bananas for it?
uh, no,
Uh,
thank you. I try to stay away from the magical fruits.
I wasn't offered anyway.
Well, how much for the other sword that you showed us earlier?
Well, that would only be about 20 gold pieces, and that's mostly for the fine detail work on it.
It is very fancy, but I'm not sure I can. Sorry to say, sir, but that's no deal. But thank you for showing me these. These were really cool.
No problem, of course. And if you know anyone in the market for a refined weapon, then please send them to me.
Very well. I'm gonna head out.
Fair enough.
Before he heads out, I go, well, you can afford that other sword.
Well, as we're heading out of the shop, I say, "Well, yeah, I could, but as fancy as it is, I have other stuff to afford. You know, possibly better armor, different weapon, upgrade for my farming hoe."
Yeah, back there, that sword.
I've been using this hoe for years. I know the weight very well.
All right,
All right, so
let's.
now we're the armor shop.
Sure. That's a good idea. Did you want to take a break and go to one of the other characters?
Well, I mostly wanted to see if Rin wanted to go get the book.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
do want to get a dictionary.
Rin, you're not going to eat the dictionary, are you?
I am.
I don't suppose I can confiscate your money, could I?
Nope.
What if I traded you Obana for it?
The bandit's not a dictionary now, is it?
No, I can't say it is, but it is.
Unless you
edible
got like
and
a magical fruit that could teach me how to read. That's not gonna help me.
not around these parts, no.
Oh goodness.
I like the implication that there might be in different parts. I just wanted to point that out.
I'm
Do
just
they ha-
really.
Did they happen to
Huh?
hear me at this point? I'm still running around looking for them, shouting, Ren Kellogg.
Sure. Hang on. What's your
Okay.
guys' passive perceptions?
Um,
How do I
Yeah.
tell my passive perception?
it's on the left. It's under your saving throws.
It's 14.
Oh, Bunsen?
Oh, wait, no, it isn't.
Mine is 10.
I have passive intel, passive wisdom, and passive wisdom.
It's
Insight. Oh,
You're 14.
yeah.
You were right. It's 14.
Okay. So you would more than have like seen it by now.
See, rum.
Yeah, like seen and heard rum because rum is huge.
Yeah. I'm walking over the townspeople. Ren Kellogg, Eminemra wants you.
And then
I'm gonna raise my farming hoe to stick out of the crowd and wave with the hoe.
I know that hoe. And then he pushes through the crowd.
Does anyone hear him say? Does the crowd hear him say, "I know that hoe"?
Yes, everybody
They're all
hears rum very clearly.
confused. People are moving out of his way as quickly as they can.
Oh, careful now. Oh, coming through. Watch the robe. Ren Kellogg.
Hi. So I was just checking out the shop here. Really cool glowy sword, but 950 gold pieces is outside my budget. So I was going to go see if I could find an armory of some sort.
Oh, maybe there's something on clearance. But we got to get back to the college. And then Nenra sent me to get you.
Could she wait?
Well, it's important.
I'm already all the way out here, though. Armory can't be too far away.
Oh, it's Ren. Can Ren come? At least come with me.
We'll be there pretty soon.
You know what? Rin, how about you go with Rum? Rum, make sure Rin doesn't eat a book or buy a book to eat, please.
Okay.
Well, why don't you go with my friend here and show him how to buy some enchanted weapons, since you know all about enchanted weapons. You know, you being a
I
wizard
do
and
know
all.
a fair bit about weapons. Under my trusty staff, and he takes this big giant steel morning star off of his back, and he kind of just pats it, and kind of just gently runs his fingers along it. This is me, my magical staff.
We don't want our friend getting ripped off, and you know all about magic items.
I can tell you all about what weapons are to make the best for wielding magics.
Honey, were you paying attention when Rum called you Eminemra? Because I can't get over it still.
Like, no, this is not me being negative, but I want you to know that I'm too in character to the point where this session has given me an actual throbbing headache.
Like, is it a problem? Like, do we need to tone it down?
It hurt. No. Stay in
Okay.
character, but I want you to know that, like, it hurts.
Okay.
I thought I was dumb one with 7 intelligence.
Alright.
I mean, Rum's
So-
at least smart enough to be trying to focus on, on trying to get things done.
Not smart enough to not try to eat a book.
He's got good focus. It's just the direction of his
Wait,
focus could use a tremendous amount of work.
He thought about eating the book, but he didn't.
Yeah, most don't get that far. Anyway, I'm pretty set on trying to find an armory of some sort.
Let's give an in-around moment to kind of try to do magic things. Alright. to summon your patron, you will have to make a circle and focus and concentrate. It is kind of a bit of a ritual. Emerald is like it looks a little awkward moving things out of the way so you have the space to do it, and like just like looks really nervous, and Mavet has this look like, oh, this is gonna be good. Like he's pleased. um so you're going to go ahead with your ritual?
Yeah, I'm like, we're picking back up. We've probably got about 10 minutes before he manages to get back. Maybe a little more if they decide to resist him. Anyway, this is usually how I do it. Comes down to this. Normally this takes an hour, but I should be able to do it. I should be able to do it in a shorter amount of time, especially since I already have the book which is linking me to him. And I would just put my hand on the book and I would try to contact him mentally, spiritually.
So you know, classically, on the rare occasion that the one or two occasions you've like made any contact with him, he speaks through whenever you make contact with him, you see him through fire in your head. And for when you try to contact him, you get nothing, usually. But today you saw the fire. And he turns and he looks at you, and he goes, "This had better be important."
Oh, it is, my lord. For I believe I've found a way to unshackle you from this realm.
He just stops what he's doing. Like, you hear him drop a book, and he puts it, and he like closes it properly and puts it back, and he goes, "Tell me everything."
We're in my mindscape, right? They can't hear me talking to him?
Yes.
Well, while we were adventuring, we found these, and I make one of the rocks appear in my hand. This stone was arranged in a circle that formed a portal. That portal led to somewhere else on this plane, but it was linked to it by a small demi-plane. This proves that interplanar travel is possible here, and they were arranged in a circle much like this. I am asking for your assistance here, just one extra time. We need to be able to find the location of these stones and perhaps learn their secrets. If we do, these soft skins are quite easy to manipulate. I might be able to learn the secret of their power and free you from your prison here.
What did the demiplane look like?
It was a forest, much like the ones that can be found here. However, things were subtly different. I don't know, I did not step foot in it myself. Others did, I only have their accounts. But things were subtly different. It also had a phantom beast inside of it that pursued us out.
A phantom beast.
A spectral bear. It responded as any other living thing would to my lightning bolt, but it was definitely a beast of another plane. I'd never seen any creature like it here. It looked like this, actually, and I just make it appear. Where in my mindscape I can do that.
Did you bring anything else back with you from that plane?
I'm not aware of anything, but there were a few. I believe the boy brought a few things with him.
Burn it.
I understand. I trust your judgment completely, Lord.
You have found your way to a plane that no one should go to. In other worlds, there are planes for different beings and creatures sometimes, and there are planes where the Fae live, and the counterpart to the Fae are the shadows, and the plane Shadowfell is dangerous, and the things that come from it are dangerous and can creep into other realms. If it contaminates this place, it could destroy your entire plane.
Dangerous, but perhaps an opportunity.
An opportunity to destroy the only place I have right now.
No, you're thinking too small, Lord. I apologize for speaking out of turn here, but it is possible that whatever is preventing this planar travel is a ploy by the Softskins to keep people here. These motes of light they have, they weaken monsters. They prevent them from fighting. That's why the people here are so weak, and why your patrons continue to be mindless idiots. Perhaps whoever is doing this is trying to unleash these beasts to stop that. Perhaps they are attempting to destroy the motes of light and undo what these softskins are doing. This could be a glowing opportunity. This could be a time to destroy the magic show that's keeping you here and unleash you and everyone else that's trapped on this plane.
The thing is, I've studied the light wells as best as I can, and I have found no connection between the light wells and the disconnect. However, I also haven't found any proof that they aren't connected.
They're
It's
a man-made
frust-
creation, and I can't imagine that this plane being isolated is anything but either. And we have no means of studying them any further in the mortal realm because we all don't have the arcane power. But it's because we have no means of developing it against anything other than training dummies. Perhaps these beasts will push us further. You know how it is with the soft skins and the other magical people. They don't grow unless they're being pushed.
Sorry, I thought
Where-
that would be more ambience than.
Where did the other end of the portal go?
North. I display a large map and I make a stick in my hand and I whap to it.
Well, no, it would be south. It was south of the mountains.
South. Whap. It brought us all the way down here, further south than I've ever been on this continent. I only know that's where it was because others were able to identify it for me.
He looks angry. That bastard. He knows how to get off this plane, doesn't he?
Oh. You must be speaking of another patron.
The Fey patron swore to me the one time I visited him. He knows nothing about the interplanar travel. He knows nothing about why it isn't there. He knows nothing about it even existing prior to me explaining it to him. He knows something. Was there anything else about those portals that you saw? Anything go into them other than you?
No. I should note, the beast didn't travel out of the portal on its own. It was transported outside. One of the others that went with us, he's a farmer that grows magical fruits. He's invented a banana that can teleport you if you eat it. I don't understand.
You just see him, he has this face
I
like.
don't understand.
But that might mean the beasts aren't capable of leaving the portals on their own. I'm not sure how that magic works. And I don't think the farmer would be too keen to have the fruit analyzed.
You've already attempted pendulums, have you?
Yes, the boy's using a rudimentary form of pendulum location. However, if you know of an easier way to locate these circles, perhaps we could narrow down the location of the person who's putting them and find the Fey patron.
Finding the Fey patron isn't hard. He lives in the woods and he holds festivals periodically. He's like a little local celebrity. Everyone knows him down there.
Well, if it's not that hard to find, but it's both difficult and easy to find if you know. It's only hard to find if you don't know where to look. Currently, I'm within the Softskins' place of magical research. Perhaps there's one of his followers here. Convincing them to help us on our journey might be pretty easy, especially since the only idea they have of your followers here are the lame-brained idiots that have let you down. They don't know of my power. They don't see me as a threat.
Well, usually people who utilize divination have some connection to a god. However, we need divination that doesn't involve the clerics. They may not like you.
Would your power be enough?
Oh, pardon me. I will do what I can to find what is available with my limited power. My divination is not very strong. I tend to not deal in that, and I admittedly am very angry with myself about having not spent more time focusing on other things.
You needn't anger yourself, Master. You thought yourself trapped here.
I might have a way off, but my concern is that way off might be deadly. Not just for me, but for everyone. Even wherever I go out. He pulls out a map, and he basically runs flame over the map, and a couple of distinct spots light up on the map, and I will mark them for you. um, here, here, here. Let's see. There's a spot here.
I just realized how much this spot looks like Florida.
It is Florida.
I mean, there are pirates there.
So it's Florida.
Here. And here. On the south end of the city.
Arr, me bath salts.
I thank you for your
Pirates.
assistance.
Of course. This is the ones that are upcoming. I'm unsure of any that might come up any later. We need to find a solution that doesn't always involve calling me every time you need to find more of these.
Of course. I imagine the only reason I was able to reach you now was because of the magic citadel's conduit of power.
I have a question. Are you with anyone currently?
There are two sorcerers with my body. I'm speaking to you in my mindscape currently.
I get a bad feeling about one of them. I don't know if it's just because they're unlucky, or because they might actually be bad.
The boy or the more experienced sorcerer?
I'm unsure.
Probably the boy.
Thank you for bringing this to me.
Of course. You handed me my end of the deal on a silver platter. I'm only trying to be a faithful servant.
I will continue to. I will look through my library and see what I can find about these gates. Did they have a specific time range when they were open?
It seemed to last a brief moment, but it wasn't more than an hour. Probably around half of one. Importantly, no one seemed to walk through either end other than our own, so it doesn't seem like it was activated by someone attempting to travel the path. Or if it was, they backed out quickly enough for us not to notice.
Be careful. Other planes, demi-planes, they pose threats that you have not seen here, and that haven't been seen on this plane in hundreds of years. It's been a very long time since this plane has seen a real threat. And if there was an opening to the Shadowfell, who knows where else they're opening to?
Indeed.
I may not like being trapped on this plane, but if this plane gets destroyed, I go with it. Keep that in mind.
We must act with a deft hand, but a careful one. I agree.
He then He then looks around at his books, and then he looks at you and says, "You're free to go."
As you desire. I will pass on as much of this information as I can to my allies without giving away our ploy.
Good.
And one other thing,
Hmm.
I haven't been able to contact you since my end of the bargain was passed. I wanted you to know that they all burnt to the ground in your name.
Good.
There's no room for betrayers in this world.
As you say that, the fire dies down in your mind and it goes black again.
And I'd open my eyes to the real world.
The two of them are sitting at a desk, kind of watching you. Well, how was it?
How long was I out?
I'm gonna ask, did you guys follow Rum?
I did not. I was pretty set on finding an armory.
Okay.
I told him that he should help us with the magic items.
Yeah, and I was going with them.
They're not here at all.
How long was I in there?
You were in there for a good solid hour. Time gets kind of funny because you have to do the focus part, and the focus part takes a while.
You should have him roll every time he tries to contact his patron, and if he ever rolls a 1, then he like accidentally crosses lines with one of us. just Kellogg one day like hello.
Fucking
New soul contact. Who dis?
sky above.
That was some intense roleplay there for a minute, by the way. I was sucked in.
Pretty edgy.
Listen, I have 3 characters: the Edgelord, the Lawful Good Knight, and well, we don't talk about the third one.
You mean our wonderful lady?
We don't talk about Aramis.
Lady Hermes.
But so I was able to make contact with the fiend.
Ooh.
I imagine it was due to the school's structure. Most of your magical buildings are constructed in a way to be a magical conduit, in case you did not know that. You knew that, didn't you, boy?
And it goes, yeah.
Good.
I think.
Regardless, and I would walk over to the map, these 6 points are where he pointed out. It would appear that this magic might have a connection to the Fae.
Mm-hmm. We have many Fae warlocks here.
Good. I hear they are quite jovial. Perhaps they will be willing to aid us.
Perhaps. The Fae are interesting.
Oh, believe me. My master has made contact with them before. He has opinions.
I'm sure the grumpy man in his tower does.
You have no idea. But more importantly, now that I have a means of contacting him, which I don't plan to do often, I should say, not only has that drained me, it also appears it put a serious toll on him. It would appear that the tower he's in has siphoned more of his power than he'd like to admit. But, now this is important. Boy!
Where it just like goes, yeah?
The objects you brought from the portal, are they all that was brought from there?
Yes.
Take as detailed notation as you can of them, and then burn them.
Why?
The place you went to, based on the creature, was the Shadowfell. You don't have any idea what that means, do you?
No.
You know the phantom bear that almost killed all of us?
Yes, of course.
That was at the lower end of the things that nightmarish realm can bring. It is a demi-plane of hatred, fear, and destruction. You soft skins have grown weak. And I don't say that from a point of contempt. I say that from a point of danger. Your complacency because of light wells has led you to believe that threats cannot exist, that there's peace. What that has done is made it so that if a threat as dangerous as the shadow well can get out, well, it could be a disaster. Those things being in this plane could attract them through those portals. It would be best if you took as detailed notation as you can and then got rid of them. We don't need those bears getting into a place with civilians. It could result in hundreds of casualties.
It's like going camping. Make sure you don't leave anything the bears will attack.
What are you talking about, boy?
I was out of character. Sorry, I had to have a moment. Good camping etiquette being practiced today.
Regardless, we have plenty of places to investigate. Most notably, if these portals truly are means of transportation and we can find a way to keep them active, it could allow for rapid movement across the continent. But this would explain the various disappearances. Boy, where were those people reported disappearing? And do they line up with these spots?
He looks over them and he goes, a few of them for sure, but I don't know about Alistair. That island, no one really goes that deep into the island.
Well, it would certainly explain why no one has gone missing there. We have multiple avenues to pursue here. We could investigate the connection with the Fae, we could investigate these other locations to see if there are any differences. Or we could investigate what we have here. Particularly the portal stones.
Well, one of these is marked inside the city.
That sounds extremely dangerous. We should head to that point at once.
Just us or everybody? Where is everybody, actually? I thought Rum was supposed to come back.
Honestly, I was kind of hoping he'd get killed along the way, but I doubt that's the case.
Alright, let's get using the armor really quick. Before that, I'm going to take a moment and say, how are we feeling on breaks? Because I'm looking, and it's like
It's about to
11.
be... Yeah, it's about to be like, 11 o'clock here.
Fine either way. If you guys want to call it here, it's probably a good spot, or we can keep going. If everyone's feeling like keeping going.
Yeah.
I don't know, my headache is still pretty bad. Might want to just call it here tonight.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Maybe next week you should take some Advil before the game to preempt it.
The pre-game the fucking Advil. It's not fucking tequila. That's not how it works.
If the one person that isn't even with the three of us needs to go, what if Jay leaves a bit early and we take care of the armory before we go?
Yeah, I'll just tune out for now.
Okay. My question at this point, Bunsen, is like, what specifically are you looking for?
I'm wondering if I can find plate armor.
Oh.
Also, question.
Yeah.
How familiar would my character be with the value of plate armor?
You're a farmer, and that's all you know, right?
Yeah. Can I like make a roll to see if I know what one should cost?
Sure.
All right. What am I rolling? History?
I'm
Insight?
gonna give you insight on this one.
Okay. That's a plus 0, so I'll just roll a d20 here. That's a 13.
You know vaguely that it's pretty expensive, but not quite exactly how much it would be. Because you don't really go to blacksmiths for armor, you go to blacksmiths for horseshoes, you go to blacksmiths for nails, you go to blacksmiths for that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
But you know
Alright.
it's definitely more expensive than farm equipment.
Alright, I probably didn't need to roll to figure that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
go find an armory, see if I can figure out. If I can't afford it, figure out how much it would cost for later, maybe.
All right. You do find like a blacksmith along one of the streets who specializes in armor. It's mostly just a booth, basically, with he and his like a blacksmith setup just along the street side.
All right.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
What you looking for?
I was wondering if you had any plate armor.
Plate armor. We do, but I warn you, it's a little expensive.
How expensive are we talking?
Well, it's usually about 1,500 gold.
1,500 gold. Can I roll to check if he's making that up?
Sure.
Is Rum with us?
That would be insight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rum's just behind you guys.
Alright, so. That is a 6.
He is not making that up.
Right.
Do you have any used armor?
Used, I might have something that's banged up, but I'm fixing that for someone is the thing. I don't tend to keep armor that's been broken.
Understandable.
What about an apprentice? Do you have an apprentice that can make him some a little bit cheaper?
I think that might just be outside of price point for it.
You know, just someone starting out blacksmithing, so it's not that good or expensive.
Bunsen, I'm gonna give you a pro tip from the DM. Chainmail has chainmail is 75 gold pieces. There is one level up after that, and then you get to plate.
Oh, what's that?
And the one in the middle is splint.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna say, alright, do you have, what's it called?
Splint mail?
Yes, do you have a splint mail armor?
Yes. I should have a couple of good sets, and I think one of them's just about the right size, but it would be 200.
What if...
Event.
What? What if I showed you a neat trick you could do with some fruit?
Listen.
Let me roll persuasion on that, please.
Alright, go
It sounds like he's gonna show you a dirty trick or something.
I don't.
No, like I pull
I don't
out.
think he wants to know what you could do with that fruit, Kellogg.
I pull out a vinaigrette fruit and a soda guess when I say that.
Oh no.
No.
Alright, this is +2. That is 18 total.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Sure. The mistake is being made today.
Right, so check this out. You see, this is a soda guess here, and you got a vinaigrette fruit. Now, vinaigrette fruit, very citrusy, fine fruit. A soda guess, it's very bland. You can use it as a brief snack. However, if you jam the soda guess into a vinaigrette fruit, it makes an explosive.
I was afraid of where that was being jammed, but we made it.
No, we didn't make it. Now Bunsen is teaching how to terrorism.
What?
It's not a massive explosive. I wouldn't be showing someone how to make a nuke.
Yeah, you're still teaching someone how to make an explosive. That's how you
maybe
get on
he'll
walk
need it.
lists.
Maybe he'll want to figure this out.
Alright.
Blasting iron forging using explosives.
What if he's caught while he's at a picnic and he needs to defend himself from giant ants? How does my persuasion work?
He's listening at this point. He's like, go ahead, show me what you can do then, I guess.
Kellogg and
Well-
everyone around him within a 5-foot radius.
Right. So the thing is, I probably don't want to do this here. The it has a 20-foot blast radius.
Oh, I
and,
meant 20-foot radius.
And also, it's I only got 2 of these vinaigrette fruit. I'll tell you what. What if I traded you a vinaigrette fruit and a sodagus for you to use whatever you want later, and some gold?
He just kind of looks it over and he says, "I'm willing to drop the price a little bit. I'll drop it down to 180."
That sounds like a good deal, Kellogg. Take it. We got stuff to do.
There's just one problem with that. I still don't have that much money.
Just take my portion.
It's still not enough. Tell you what. Thank you for showing me your armor,
Mr. Lug.
Mr. Lug.
I don't
I might come back later to pick up some new armor. I'll keep you in mind.
All right. Thank you for showing me your fruit trick.
No problem. If you come into possession of a vinaigrette fruit and a sodagus, be very careful.
All right.
I'm gonna head back to the college.
Bunsen.
What?
Let me show you what I can do with this.
I'm going to show you a neat trick I can do with some fruit.
I'm imagining that, like, when I said that, you've seen Avatar: Last Airbender, some of it, right? The cartoon. Like, remember when Aang would show, like, the cool wind ball he can do in his hand? He's like doing a dopey smile. It's like, check this out. It's just holding some fruit instead of the air bubble.
All right, kids. I guess this is where we get off.
Oh, is there a bookstore that I can go to real fast?
Alright.
Hey, my character has 7 intelligence. What do you want?
My question then becomes, how does like Bunsen, are you going to stop Rainbow from going to the bookstore?
I'm going to assume that he's probably slipped away during the talking with the armory.
Yep.
Fair enough. Alright, so you find your way into a bookstore. It's a pretty like modest sized shop. The man at the front desk greets you as you enter.
Oh, hello, sir.
Hello, is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for a dictionary.
A dictionary?
Yeah.
And he walks over to a shelf and he pulls down like from what looks to be a number of identical books, a very large dictionary. He says this is the most recent dictionary. This was printed very recently. In fact, at the beginning of this year. Is there anything else that you need?
How much is that?
It's about 10 gold pieces.
Okay, that's all I need. Looks very tasty.
Oh, you're one of those moth priests. he looks like a little disheartened. All
When I
right.
eat this book, I'll finally be able to read.
Excuse me?
Well, the moth says I should be able to eat this book and be able to read.
All right. 10 gold pieces, please.
I give him 10 gold pieces.
He wraps up the book really quickly and hands it to you and says, "Thank you for your purchase."
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
I feel like this is. I feel like this is the book merchant as he has to sell a book that he knows someone is going to just eat.
It's that feeling of like you have a passion and a love for your job, but no one warned you that people sometimes eat your work.
Shit, what the fuck?
Imagine how couch makers feel. I mean, some people eat like the cushioning of couches. It's freaking
Oh
weird.
no.
Ew.
Do you think there's an actual dictionary? Or do you think I have to make that a custom thing?
Oh.
Wait, what? Like on D&D Beyond?
Yeah.
Probably a custom thing.
Well, you could probably just label it as a book.
Yeah, there's probably a book.
Yeah,
Just get a
because
book
there
and
are
rename
books that there's like a base price for a book is like 25 gold pieces.
Right, there's one that says Book Adventure Gear.
Yeah.
No.
Oh. I'm gonna have a moment with you really quick. You might want to read up on the rules of the Moth King. Just
Yeah,
to be
okay.
sure of what you're doing.
I'm sure Rainbow is aware, and Rainbow does not care. Rainbow do what Rainbow do.
Fair enough. Alright, I think that's a good place to end it. We have information. You
Okay.
got to go shopping and realize D&D higher level armor is really expensive.
I got a dictionary.
Well, my character would also realize that in person.
All right. You want me to take us out?
Sure.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna end the stream. So thanks everybody for watching. If you followed along, it's our first episode. So check us out for next time. Well, it's our first live episode. It's technically episode 2. So
are you
check
talking
us
about?
out next
This
week for episode 3. What?
Check in next week for episode
What are you talking
5.
about? We haven't missed a single episode.
Oh
You
yeah.
can totally
right.
find the other episode if you look for it.
Tune in and see if Rin
It's-
finally learns how
it's
to read by
somewhere.
reading a book.
All right.
Tune in if you want to find out if Rin finds how to read by eating a book.
All right. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
We-
Bye.